Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, April 19th. Why can't we just march out of Afghanistan? Last week, President Biden announced a full U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the longest war in U.S. history, by the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attack on the United States. While this announcement is to be welcomed, the delayed U.S. withdrawal may result in Americans and Afghans dying needlessly for good PR optics back home. We all remember how many Americans died after President Bush's mission accomplished stunt in Iraq. The war has been a disaster from day one, so why wait to end it? The previous Trump administration had negotiated an agreement for the U.S. to be out of Afghanistan by the 1st of May. But in its exception with tossing out anything associated with Trump, President Biden will continue to keep U.S. troops in harm's way in the pointless war. The Taliban may have kept their end of the bargain agreement signed under then-President Trump. No Americans have been killed in Afghanistan for more than a year. However, the U.S. side under President Biden will formally violate the agreement by keeping U.S. troops in the country after May 1st. The Taliban has announced that it will hold the U.S. liable for remaining in the country after the agreement upon departure date. That means more Americans will be killed. The outcome of the war will not be altered in the slightest by keeping U.S. troops in Afghanistan for additional months. The withdrawal is already announced and no one is paying attention expects the corrupt U.S.-backed Kabul government to survive. It is another Saigon moment proving that the intellectually bankrupt U.S. policy and military establishment has learned absolutely nothing from history. So if another American is killed, who is going to explain to the grieving family why their loved one had to remain in harm's way for a good 9/11 photo op? My philosophy has always been simple. We just marched in so we can just march out. As we have recently learned, that is exactly what President Trump tried to do in the final days of his presidency, only to get cold feet after his military and national security experts told him it was a terrible idea. When the history of the Trump administration is written, it will sadly be filled with stories of Trump's excellent instincts tossed aside by his inability to demand that those working for him follow his orders. It's tragic. We need to be completely out of Afghanistan yesterday. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number every Sunday. The written text can be found on the Ron Paul Institute website. Thanks for listening.